I have guys like this, you know, they want to instigate, they want to create a...
What is he instigating, Bernie? I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt.
Richard, look at him.
What is he
This is a cop out
instigating?
there accused of doing nothing wrong,
And
trying to keep
this guy
the peace.
is having a silent protest with this police officer.
He
This is
gets
his
right in his
First
face
Amendment
and
right.
stares him down. This cop...
is to actually create a new world order.
Good evening, everybody. President Obama and British Prime Minister Gordon today calling for a new world order to tackle our global economic crisis.
Breaking news this hour, a Russian plane has been shot down on the Syria-Turkey border, or very close to it on the Syrian side. These are the images. We've got amateur images, and we've got some breaking developments from Ivan Watson.
That they're right.
Mars has written its autobiography in the rocks of Gale Crater. And we just started deciphering that story. So chapter 1, Yellowknife Bay.
Once humans develop artificial intelligence, it would take off on its own and redesign itself at an ever-increasing rate. Humans, who are limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete and would be superseded.
For the man of the future, war and violence are unacceptable. The main priority of his development is spiritual self-improvement. A new era dawns. The era of neo-humanity.
Genesis 6:4. There were giants in the earth in those days, and also after that, when the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, and they bare children to them. The same became mighty men which were of old, men of renown. When it states the sons of God came in unto the daughters of men, is making a difference here. When it says daughters of men, is speaking of daughters of Adam, daughters that or of humans, in other words. And when it says the sons of God, I believe it's speaking of fallen angels. Some will say that it's speaking of the sons of Seth. But the thing is, Seth was a son of Adam, according to Luke 3:38. And if Seth was a son of Adam, that means he was a human. So why would a human marrying another human cause the problem that it caused? I believe that what happened then, we're witnessing it happening now. Not to the greatest extent of what happened then, but we are witnessing genetic manipulation happening at a rate that is alarming. If you notice continuously, when you hear scientists in mainstream media, some of the people that science calls the most brilliant people on this earth, they're continuously speaking down upon the human being. In the intro of this video, I played a clip from Stephen Hawking, and he says, limited by slow biological evolution, couldn't compete with the new human being that they're creating, in other words.
Obviously, to interpret that in the special Darwinian sense of
You know,
design.
I always end up using the word design, and someone in the audience always said, you shouldn't do that, Dr. Nesi, because you don't really mean design, and they're absolutely right, of course.
Well, yeah, but we've grown out of that now, haven't we, or have we not?
But when you look at how the mechanisms of the body work, it's almost automatic to talk about them being designed. What really gives the proof is when you look at how badly designed they are. No sensible person would have ever left the body the way it is.
Like what? What's a good example of that?
Name your part of the body that you want to.
And in human beings, this is like the most tragic of them. I don't even include here the expression of free will where people want to kill each other. I'm talking about nature killing us without the help of human beings. Aggressive childhood leukemia, hemophilia, all of this. And we so much praise about the human eye, but anyone who's seen the full breadth of the electromagnetic spectrum will recognize how blind we are, okay? And part of that blindness means we can't see, we can't detect.
They're continuously talking down upon the human being, claiming that we cannot compete with the advances that technology can bring to humanity. That once humanity takes that next leap, which I believe they're already taking it, to incorporate technology with man, that new creature that they are going to be creating will take over. And that is the ultimate plan, in my humble opinion. If we look what is happening around the world right now, the stage is being set. In Genesis 1:27, so God created man in his own image. In the image of God, God created he him. Male and female created he them. God created a man and God created a woman. But the lines are being blurred. The lines are being blurred. Surgery could give men wombs of their own within 5 years. According to this article, in fact, medical techniques already exist to overcome many obstacles to male pregnancy. Hormone therapy can shut off testosterone and introduce progesterone and estrogen needed to prepare the uterus for pregnancy. Even though males do not have uterine veins and arteries needed to nurture the womb, it is possible to attach a branch of a large vessel like the internal iliac to the uterus. It is doable, it just hasn't been done, Chung says. Although it's preferable for a vagina to support the uterus, it is possible to attach a transplanted uterus to other ligaments in the pelvis. Happen then, family? We're seeing things happen now at an alarming rate. Another article says, my guess is 5-10 years away, maybe sooner, says Dr. Karine Chung, Director of Fertility Preservation Program at the University of Southern California. Today's medical advances let transgender women adjust their biochemistry to suppress male and introduce female hormones, have breasts that can lactate, and obtain surgically constructed vaginas that include a neoclitoris, which allows sensation. Long story short, they're genetically modifying men who were born with the plumbing to be a man, and they're genetically modifying that individual to become a woman. Things that 5-10 years ago no one would have thought of are happening right before our very eyes. In Genesis 1:26, and God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth. God created a beautiful animal kingdom. An animal kingdom that is gorgeous, that is precious, that is so beautiful. What has man done via the influence of fallen angels? Via the influence of fallen angels, man has taken God's creation and has tarnished it. And understand that once they create a genetically modified being, that being continues to reproduce. And when they genetically modify that being, understand that when God creates the quote-unquote animal kingdom, everything flows beautifully. One animal feeds off the other one feeds off the other. God has created this earth so beautifully that it has every single natural resource for it to sustain itself. The elite of this world will tell you, no, we need to depopulate the earth. This is why they've introduced diseases, which in my opinion, such as AIDS and many others that are introduced to planet Earth to depopulate the earth. But that's another day, another video, another moment. This is why they have Planned Parenthoods, and they have most of those Planned Parenthoods in black cities, in black neighborhoods, in poor communities, in poor areas because of racism. You may not agree with that, but that is the truth. And the sad reality is that none of that is needed, because God provided on this earth every single resource so that man, if following his commandments and his instructions, could live and flourish on planet Earth. But boy, have we destroyed Earth under the influence of fallen angels. And boy, have we destroyed God's beautiful creation. And as they genetically modify an animal, and they tweak with that animal's gene to make him live longer, to make him be stronger, to let him do things which he wasn't created to do. 5-10 years down the line, that animal is going to supersede the original, corrupting the flesh. FDA approves genetically modified fish. Can you believe that? Soon when you buy fish, you're not going to know if it was a genetically modified fish or not. They're mixing breeds like it's a game. They're mixing zebras with other animals. They're mixing lions with tigers, creating a liger. They're mixing buffaloes with cows, creating a beefalo. They're mixing lions, they're mixing leopards. They're mixing things that they shouldn't be doing. They're interjecting human genes into goats, into cows, into sheeps. But as long as they keep you entertained with Black Friday and you see people of all races and colors acting like savages,
let the shopping, the saving, and the shoving begin. Nationwide, those hours of waiting in line overnight,
33 hours out here,
transforming into this morning's annual Black Friday frenzy.
And this gun is normally $20. Right now, it's $9.99 while supplies last.
it's all good to them. Because you don't realize that they're playing with you. You're nothing more than a pawn to the people that rule this world. And the one that rules them is Satan. Okay? And they seek to eradicate the human being that God created. They seek to eradicate the beautiful creation that God has made. And people carry on as if nothing is happening. And people live on as if nothing is happening. But wickedness is abounding on this earth. Wickedness is abounding on this earth. In Luke 17, verses 26 through 29, and as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and the flood came, and destroyed them all. Likewise also as it was in the days of Lot, they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded, but the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven and destroyed them all. Now, the context of this, in my opinion, is that while all of the wickedness was happening in the days of Noah and in the days of Lot, people carried on with their lives as if nothing. Once you get used to sin, it becomes easier to sin. Once you get used to the wickedness of this world, you become desensitized to the wickedness of this world. Now we know that God didn't bring upon the flood because they were eating, marrying wives, and they were giving in marriage until Noah came into the ark and then the flood came. Or we know that God didn't bring forth fire and brimstone from heaven in the days of Lot because they were eating, drinking, buying, selling. It was a wickedness of sin, of sodomy happening in the days of Lot. And it was the wickedness of the fallen angels in the days of Noah.
It's not a bird.
Keep going up and up and up.
It's not a plane.
Here it's flipping around.
Even this aviation expert is mystified.
I can't identify it.
We first learned about these strange sightings when this metro area man, who does not want to be identified, brought us his home video.
You're gonna see a little burst of fire right there, kind of a thruster.
He captured the images on his digital camera from a hilltop in Federal Heights, looking south towards downtown Denver.
Mile High is right about here.
He says the flying objects appear around noon or 1 p.m. at least a couple of times a week.
You're gonna see it come in from the top, do a little loopy-doop.
The strangest part is they are flying too fast to see with the naked eye. This is the video in real time.
Poof, see it? That was it.
But if you slow it down frame by frame, it's there. We altered the color contrast to help you see it. Here's another one in real time. This is what it looks like slowed down. We wanted to verify that the video we saw was legit, so our photojournalist came out here with his camera. He set up in the same spot on 84th and Federal, and he shot video from just before noon until just after 1. And when we slowed down our photographer's video, we saw this flying object.
I would consider myself an expert.
Aviation expert Steve Cowell is a former commercial pilot, instructor, and FAA accident prevention counselor.
It's very strange.
He thought he would have a logical explanation until he watched the video.
That is not an airplane. That is not a helicopter. Those are not birds. I can't identify it.
Cowell told us he knows of no aircraft that flies as fast.
And that is what we're witnessing today. Love is growing cold. Love is growing cold. Humanity just walks around as if nothing, while God's creation is being destroyed. While God's creation is being destroyed, and you don't realize that you're being played 100% of the way. Transhumanism. This is going to play a very big part within the next 5 to 10 to 15 years.
Look at this. Bullets fired at a reduced speed from a .22 caliber gun, not being able to break a skin made from, listen carefully here, spider silk protein from the milk of genetically modified goats. I hope you're keeping up with all this. Joining me now for today's Big Eye via Skype, Randy Lewis, professor of biology at Utah State University, who's been pioneering methods of producing spider silk from, well, some very unexpected sources. And from the Netherlands, Dutch bioartist Shalila Asadi, who created this bulletproof experiment. Thank you both so much for joining us. This is really interesting, a little bizarre, but also really cool all at the same time. Randy, to you first. Tell me more about this spider silk protein and how the goats actually produce it.
Well, we genetically engineered the goats so that they produce the spider silk protein in their milk.
This is what I believe is the next step towards ushering possibly the New World Order, and possibly bringing forth fallen angels on this earth in the form of UFOs, in the form of aliens. I'm going to play a clip from Pepsi. They recently uploaded a video called Black Knight Decoded, I believe. Let's start with this first clip and we'll keep on moving.
For much of my life, we've been tracking the movement, signals, and coded messages of Black Knight and sharing it with the world. Every time we share, they shut us down.
Alpha team is approaching the target.
But this time it's different.
Upload in progress.
If this gets out, there'll be mass panic. Shut it down.
This time, what we share will change the world.
Via that film, the same thing that I mentioned earlier, where they are talking down to the human being and they're making God's creation seem as this piece of garbage that is worth nothing, by telling you that we weren't made in God's image. We were made by these ancient creators. Think about the movies that you're watching on Hollywood. Think about the continuous propaganda of how you can become a superhero and how these superheroes are being elevated to this status. They look human, they act human, but they have some sort of a supernatural power because of their DNA. Satan is aware that his time is short. Hebrews 9:27, and it is appointed unto men once to die, but after this the judgment. So via the influence of fallen angels, men who are in power on this earth seek immortality apart from Jesus Christ. Google itself is now scouring Ancestry.com to find out what is in your genes. You seen the Ancestry.com commercials on TV or on YouTube telling you that they have a special to test your DNA. Well, who do you think is funding those specials? You agree to the terms? Sure, you're going to get your DNA tested, but guess who's also going to get a copy of that DNA that you have? Google. Google Project to Cure Death, Calico, announces 1.5 billion research center. Understand that these things that they're investing money in, their message is always a quote-unquote positive one, telling you that with technology, man can be better. That with technology, man can live longer. That with technology, we can avoid fraud. Because if you can pay with the palm of your hand, then guess what? It's only going to help you. Nobody can steal your funds. Your kids can be protected if we chip them. You want to live forever with your spouse? We can make that happen. We can make that happen. You can be immortal. That is what they're offering you. This is being promoted to you even in children movies. This is being promoted to kids.
I'll scan the whole city at the same time. I just have to upgrade Baymax's sensor. Actually, if we're gonna catch this guy, I need to upgrade all of you. I need to upgrade all of you. I need to upgrade all of you.
Upgrade who now? Those who suffer a loss require support from friends and loved ones.
Oh, okay, I like where this is heading.
We can't go against that guy. We're nerds.
Hiro, we want to help, but we're just us. We're just us. We're just us.
No. You can be way more. You can be way more. You can be way more.
Tadashi Hamada was our best friend. We're in.
Can you feel it? You guys, do you feel this? Our origin story begins. We're gonna be superheroes!
Arms up. The neurotransmitter must be in his mask. We get the mask, and he can't control the bots. Game over.
They say we are what we are, but we don't have to be. I'm bad behavior, but I do it in the best way. I'll be the watcher of the eternal flame. I'll be the guard dog of all your fever dreams. I am the sand in the bottom half of the hourglass glass. 'Cause we could be immortals, immortals, just not alone. The blackout curtains down, just not alone. We could be Sometimes the only payoff for having any faith is when it's tested again and again every day. I'm still comparing your past to my future. 'Cause we could be immortals, immortals, just not alone.
Super jump! Super jump! Woohoo! I breathe fire!
This is why the evolution theory that is being propagated is in schools is so dangerous, because what it is leading up to is for these fallen angels to come to earth and be that missing link. Be that missing link to what can take us to the next level in the evolution of man. In the Pepsi Decoded video clip that I showed you, it's promoting that these aliens want to make contact with Earth, but they're not prepared to do so because we haven't evolved yet into what they want us to be. Take a look at this next clip. And in this next clip, you're going to witness that the fallen angels, which you and I know as fallen angels, the Hollywood promotes them as ancient creators, as ancient astronauts, as these gods that come from another planet. They're fallen angels, they're demonic entities. And in this next clip, you're going to see that it's promoted to you that they're going to soon make contact. And look at what they say. Look at what they say.
There's something else.
Don't tell me someone broke it.
You built quite a community out there. People in 80 countries were working on it. Major contributions came from India, China, Russia, and Australia.
How?
It was encrypted using ancient Sumerian cuneiform. So once we decrypted the file, it barely took any time to translate the voice.
Voice?
I know. People everywhere have been waiting for this. Ready to change the world.
We came to you many thousands of years ago, when your civilization was young. You have grown quickly and efficiently, but you still have so much to learn. If you want us to return, on the night of your next full moon, the people of Earth must show us they are ready. We will be watching.
As you can hear, it's the same lie being promoted. That thousands of years ago, these creatures, these aliens, these gods from another planet created us. That they came to us to help us. And I guess now they're catching up with us to see how we've quote-unquote evolved. But that we're not yet ready. We're not yet ready for the next step. But that humanity can once again prove that they're ready on the next full moon. It's the same message promoted in Hollywood movies that promote the same type of thing. In Space Odyssey 2001, they had the monolith. In the monolith, they had monkeys. And when the monkeys touched the monolith, it provided the next step in evolution, which brought forth humanity, humans. Then in the monolith, once again, humans touch the monolith yet again when the monolith makes contact with mankind, and once again they evolve. Like in the movie Interstellar. The same theme happening consistently. When the Tesseract appeared, someone built the Tesseract to help man evolve into the next step of his evolution. That is the deception, folks. That is the deception. There's nothing new under the sun. Nothing new under the sun. In Genesis 11, and I encourage you to read the whole book. It's a beautiful book. Genesis, every single book in the scriptures is beautiful, and it provides you so much historical fact and so much God-inspired truth that we miss out on because we don't want to search the scriptures. But search the scriptures. The scriptures will... God provided us the scriptures, and if you study them, you'll see that before there was any plans of a new world order, there was the Tower of Nimrod. It was the Tower of Babel, I'm sorry. And Nimrod was the prototype of what you will see soon, the leader that will rise upon earth. In Genesis 11, and I encourage you to read the entire chapter, but in verse 5 we see a trait that God found when he came to look upon man. And the Lord came down to see the city and the tower which the children of men builded. And the Lord said, Behold, the people is one, and they all have one language. And this they begin to do, and now nothing will be restrained from them, which they have imagined to do. In the Tower of Babel, we see that Nimrod, in direct rebellion to God, he became their leader. And under the inspiration of fallen angels, Nimrod took men to rebel against God. And the people became one. And the people had one voice. Look at the finale of the Pepsi video and look at what they say. Humanity comes as one, and humanity unites in one voice. Check this out. In this particular clip, this is humanity responding to the so-called ancient creators, ancient astronauts, aliens. They respond by uniting as one. Check it out and hear the words and look how similar they are to Genesis 11.
Come together. It's a miracle. I see it in your face, it's written in your eyes, burning like the sun in the sky. Girl, I swear that I could taste it every time that we touch. Girl, I can't get enough. Feel the world slow down as our hearts speed up. If the night burns out, then a fire love's a bit. Something I believe and I see it all around. I'm so glad that I found you. Better than walking on water or breathing in space. Miracle. In love we overcome impossible. Making it rain. Here we go.
And on this day we came together with one voice. And on this day, we came together with one voice, one purpose as one world, one purpose as one world. And a new world opened up, bringing us as close to space as we were to each other.
As soon as the world unites as one, it begins the next step of evolution. A new future, a new world, where aliens now can come to Earth because humanity has now evolved to the point where they wanted us to evolve, and that was where we're going to love each other and be as one.
Perhaps we need some outside universal threat. I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
I believe that now that we know there are not hundreds, not millions, but billions of other solar systems out there, thanks to the Hubble telescope and what we know about black holes in the universe and all of that, the dimensions of physics are such that I would be quite surprised if in the lifetime of people that are no older than 30 here, we don't discover some form of life in another universe. It's pretty clear that there was something approaching elemental life on Mars at one time in the past, based on what we've already discovered there.
The plans of the fallen angels. They have a lot of plans, and they're not in your best interest. They're not in your best interest. This is why they have you feuding with your fellow neighbor. They aim at creating two different groups. Those who want all peace and love, and those who don't want all peace and love. Look at the chaos that they're creating. You have Mexicans fighting Republicans. You have refugees fighting the world. Blacks fighting whites. You have Black Lives Matter versus police brutality. And meanwhile, you as a believer see all of the things that are happening. And granted, among the things that are happening, there's a lot of injustices happening. There's a lot of things that are gonna upset you in the flesh. But understand that while these things can upset you in the flesh, you need to remove yourself from it. You need to remove yourself from it, because once you come to Jesus Christ, you're from the kingdom of heaven. You're an ambassador of God. Because I can assure you, all of the chaos that they're creating, getting you to blame this group or that group or the other group or the other group, is all meant for a purpose to then unite every single person as one. Your job as a believer in these days is to, yes, you witness the injustices that are happening with your home country, injustices that are happening with your race, your color, right? Just remember who's the one who started creating these races and started saying that they were black and started saying that they were white. Who came up with those terms? In Acts 17:26, and hath made of one blood all nations of men for to dwell on all the face of the earth, and has determined the times before appointed and the bounds of their habitation. Our skin color is nothing more than more or less melanin. And as a believer in Jesus Christ, although in the flesh, you do feel the pain of what is happening to you. You do feel the pain of the injustices of this world. You need to be careful, because love is growing cold. In Matthew 24:10 through 13, and then shall many be offended. Do you not see all of the groups that I mentioned above being offended? And shall betray one another, and shall hate one another. And many false prophets shall rise, and shall deceive many. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved. Do not allow the things of this world to make your heart grow cold. You see, God created the human being, that evolutionist, that human being that the top scientists of this world speak negatively towards. God created that human being with free will. And God created that human being with the ability to love. This is why in Matthew 22:37, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. You have an ability to make an impact via Jesus Christ, not apart from him, on this earth. And pull yourself away from all of these little isms that there are, and understand that you're now from a kingdom above, because body of Jesus Christ, when it's all said and done, they don't care if you're a Mexican, Republican, white, black, purple, or yellow. The elite that rule this world only care about the new breed that they're bringing upon this earth. All of the little groups that we have above, those are just simple tools to keep you entertained while they do the dirty work behind the scenes. Fallen angels have plans, and their plans are very wicked. Come out from among the systems of this world and wake up and understand that Jesus is the only way. He is the only way. Seek Jesus now more than ever, and understand that these fallen angels, these entities, they may come off as they're superior, they have these nice ships, they have all of this intellect, but guess what? There's one name that they have to submit upon, and that's the name of Jesus Christ. And that's the power of Jesus Christ, because they're nothing more than demons, demonic entities that aim to make you think that you're this accident, that it may make you think that you're nothing, you're worthless. But Jesus Christ has chosen the weak things of this world to confound the wise, and that includes any genetically modified human being that they create on this earth. In the name of Jesus Christ, I urge you, body of Christ, come out from among the systems of this world, because they're playing you. They're playing you. They're pitting one group against the other with the aim that at the end of the moment, they can say, you know what, let's just all unite as peaceful as one. Turn to Jesus Christ today. May God bless each one of you. Be aware of the devices of Satan. If you enjoyed this video and you want to download it for free, visit my website. In the videos section, you'll find the video uploaded on the top left corner. You click on it, and on the bottom left of that screen, it'll say HD or SD. You can feel free to download it there for free. We love you very much. Feel free to, anytime you need a prayer request on our page as well, on our website, there's an option for you to put an anonymous prayer request on there for people to pray for you. So God bless you guys. Thank you for watching. And let us not do as they did in the days of Noah and as the days of Lot. Let us not allow the wickedness of this world allow us to carry on as if nothing is happening. There are things happening all around us. Stay alerted to those things, because Satan is so crafty that he can even try to continuously talk about these UFOs to make God himself look like a UFO when he comes back. You never know how crafty Satan can be. This is why you must stay in his word. This is why you must stay studying the word of God, living by the Spirit of God, living holy for Jesus Christ, following his commandments. Because it is only then that your eyes can be open and you can see that all of the things that are happening all around you, they're aimed at distracting you. They're aimed at keeping you busy, while the elite of this world figure out ways to eradicate you from planet Earth and eradicate God's creation from planet Earth under the inspiration of fallen angels. May the Lord rebuke them in Jesus' name. God bless you all.